There is a strange truth about human nature. People rarely value what is loud, desperate, or constantly available. But they instinctively respect what is calm, grounded, and self-controlled. In a world obsessed with attention, the most powerful individuals are often the quietest in the room. They don't demand respect. They embody it. The ancient Stoics understood something most modern people forget. Your behavior is your reputation. Every reaction, every boundary, every word you choose or refuse teaches people how to treat you. You don't need to announce your worth. You demonstrate it. And today, we're going deep into the 7 Stoic behaviors that quietly increase your value in every room you enter, socially, professionally, and personally. Before we begin, if you are someone who wants to master discipline, emotional control, confidence, and silent strength, subscribe to this channel now. This is not surface-level motivation. This is transformation. Let's begin. 1. Control your emotions, especially when it's hard. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. But when you are criticized, when you are disrespected, when things don't go your way, that is when your true worth is revealed. Emotional control is not suppression. It is mastery. Most people are predictable. Insult them, they react. Ignore them, they chase. Challenge them, they become defensive. But when you pause, when you refuse to give an impulsive reaction, something powerful happens. You create uncertainty, and uncertainty commands attention. When you don't react the way people expect, they begin to reassess you. They realize you operate differently. You are not governed by impulse. You are governed by principle. This is what made Stoic leaders formidable. They understood that anger is often a display of weakness, not strength. When you maintain composure in chaos, people instinctively feel your stability. And stability is rare. The person who cannot be emotionally manipulated becomes someone others must respect. Imagine 2 individuals in an argument. One is loud, reactive, desperate to win. The other is calm, measured, controlled. Who appears more powerful? Silence under pressure creates authority. The moment you stop reacting emotionally to everything, your value increases dramatically. Because now, access to your emotions is not cheap. And what is not cheap becomes respected. 2. Speak less than you know. Most people talk too much. They overshare. They overexplain. They try to prove themselves with endless words. But words lose power when they are excessive. The Stoics believed speech should be intentional, not impulsive. When you speak less, people lean in, they listen more carefully. They analyze your tone. They remember your words. Silence creates psychological weight. Have you ever noticed how the quiet person in a meeting often commands attention the moment they begin speaking? That is not accidental. It is perceived value. When you do not constantly narrate your thoughts, you build mystery. And mystery builds intrigue. You don't need to announce your achievements. You don't need to constantly correct people. You don't need to win every debate. Let your actions speak. There is strength in restraint. When your words are few but precise, they carry impact. And impact creates authority. The person who talks the most often has the least influence. The person who speaks with intention has power. If you want people to value your voice, don't give it away carelessly. 3. Set boundaries without guilt. Your boundaries teach people your worth more clearly than your words ever could. If you tolerate disrespect, you train others to disrespect you. If you overextend yourself to please everyone, you teach people that your time is disposable. But when you calmly say, no, without apology, without elaborate explanation, you send a message. My time has value. My energy has value. I have standards. And standards intimidate those who lack them. Boundaries are not aggression. They are clarity. A Stoic does not explode in anger when crossed. He simply adjusts access. Access to you is a privilege, not a right. When someone repeatedly disrespects you, and you withdraw your presence without drama, it forces reflection. People respect what they might lose, not what is always available. The key is emotional neutrality. No anger, no resentment, no revenge, just quiet adjustment. That quiet adjustment speaks louder than confrontation ever could, because it signals something powerful. You do not chase, you replace, and that energy changes everything. 4. Keep your promises, even the small ones. In a world full of inconsistency, reliability is rare. And rarity creates value. If you say you will do something, do it. If you commit, follow through. Your word is your reputation. Many people sabotage their worth through small betrayals of discipline. They cancel plans casually. They miss deadlines. They make excuses. Each broken promise weakens their perceived value. But the individual who consistently honors commitments becomes trusted. And trust is power. Trust creates opportunity. Trust creates leadership. Trust creates influence. When people know your word means something, they treat you differently. They depend on you. They involve you. They respect you. Integrity is silent dominance. You don't need to brag about being reliable. People feel it, and once they feel it, they rarely forget it. 5. Improve yourself daily. Become so valuable they feel that there is something undeniable about a person who is constantly improving. They don't announce it. They don't brag about it. They don't post every move. But you can feel that their posture changes. Their discipline sharpens. Their conversations deepen. Their confidence becomes quieter, but stronger. Self-improvement is silent intimidation. The Stoics believed your focus should always return to what you can control: your habits, your effort, your character. When you commit to daily growth, physically, mentally, spiritually, you raise your internal standard. And when your internal standard rises, your external tolerance lowers. You stop entertaining low-level conversations. You stop chasing approval. You stop shrinking yourself to fit insecure environments. Growth creates separation. And separation increases value. Think about it: the person who trains consistently, reads consistently, builds skills consistently, over time, becomes rare. And rarity is respected. But here is the key: improve quietly. Do not seek validation for your grind. Do not broadcast every achievement. Do not turn discipline into performance. Move in silence. When the results show, they will speak louder than your announcements ever could. And when people sense that you are evolving beyond the version they once knew, their perception changes. Suddenly, you are no longer ordinary. You are progressing. And progress attracts respect. If this message is resonating with you right now, pause for a moment and subscribe to this channel. Because this is what we do here, we build ourselves quietly, powerfully, and relentlessly. 6. Walk away from disrespect, without drama. This is one of the hardest behaviors to master. Because walking away requires ego control. When someone disrespects you, your instinct is to defend yourself, to argue, to prove your point, to win. But Stoicism teaches something deeper. Not every battle deserves your energy. When you argue with someone committed to misunderstanding you, you lower yourself to their level. When you try to convince someone to value you, you reduce your value. Instead, learn the art of disengagement. No announcement, no emotional speech, no dramatic exit, just withdrawal. Energy is currency, and when you remove yours, people notice. Silence after disrespect is powerful. It creates reflection. It creates tension. It creates awareness. And sometimes, it creates regret. But here's the truth. You do not walk away to manipulate someone into chasing you. You walk away because your standards require it. That difference changes everything. You are not playing games. You are protecting your dignity. And dignity is magnetic. The strongest individuals are not the ones who fight every insult. They are the ones who cannot be baited. When someone realizes they cannot provoke you, cannot access you freely, cannot disturb your peace, their perception shifts. You become difficult to shake. And people respect what they cannot control. 7. Stay patient. Play the long game. Weak minds seek immediate validation. Strong minds build long-term value. Patience signals confidence. When you are patient, it communicates something subtle but powerful. You trust your path. You don't rush success. You don't force relationships. You don't beg for recognition. You build, quietly, consistently, strategically. Most people reveal their insecurity through impatience. They want quick results. Quick praise, quick rewards. But anything built quickly can collapse quickly. Stoic philosophy reminds us that time reveals everything. Time reveals character. Time reveals intentions. Time reveals effort. When you commit to the long game, you detach from short-term emotional swings. You stop reacting to temporary setbacks. You stop celebrating too early. You stop quitting too soon. And this steadiness becomes your advantage. While others burn out, you endure. While others chase trends, you build foundations. While others seek applause, you sharpen skill. Patience multiplies power. And over time, people begin to see that you are not temporary. You are permanent, and permanence commands respect. The deeper truth about worth. Here is something most people misunderstand. Worth is not something you demand. It is something you demonstrate. You cannot force someone to value you. But you can become so grounded, disciplined, and self-respecting that their behavior naturally adjusts. The Stoic path is not about arrogance. It is about internal authority. When you stop seeking approval, you become harder to manipulate. When you stop overreacting, you become harder to provoke. When you stop overexplaining, you become harder to dismiss. And when you stop tolerating disrespect, you become harder to replace. That combination creates quiet power. The 7 behaviors recap. Let's bring it together clearly. Control your emotions. Speak less than you know. Set boundaries without guilt. Keep your promises. Improve yourself daily. Walk away from disrespect. Stay patient and play the long game. These are not flashy tactics. They are character disciplines. And character disciplines compound over time. Final message to you. If you apply even 3 of these behaviors consistently for the next 30 days, your social presence will change. People will listen differently. They will treat you differently. They will approach you differently. Not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. This channel exists for those who refuse to live average lives. If you want more deep Stoic wisdom, practical mental discipline, and powerful self-mastery lessons like this, subscribe right now and join this growing community of strong minds. We are building something different here. Not noise. Power. Quiet power. And remember, you don't teach people your worth with words. You teach them with behavior.